Charlie Hargrave's watching.
Yep. Jerry Keplinger's watching. Jerry Keplinger's watching. Jerry Keplinger's watching. Jerry Keplinger's watching.
Why does it do that?
I don't know. Wake up, Wilmington.
Yeah.
There's my operatic voice for today.
Yeah.
My bathtub baritone.
I'm not going there.
Well, you have a mental picture?
Yeah.
At least I'm not wearing
Scared
the
the
phone.
hell out of me. Yeah, there you go.
Bathroom baritone, which is better.
My toilet baritone?
Yeah.
That'd be more like, wake up, Wilmington.
I think, why do I think about
Good morning, Green Wolf.
That's where they hold his hair back so he can throw up in the toilet.
How you doing, Dean Thompson? Vicky Kendall is on. Vicky, we're friends on Facebook. Send me a message when you want to come on. Talk about ghosts. We talk about this power line and
Is she
stuff.
into the paranormal?
She is into paranormal, but we could also talk about the power lines and stuff going through there.
Same thing.
Yeah, well, yeah, you might get more paranormal activity now. I don't know. Well, we've had an interesting evening last night in the county. Pat Haley has answered his detractors and basically says they don't like the reforms he's putting in. Plus, imagine that it's contract time with the police department.
All right, so that explains a lot.
So if it's contract time,
They're trying to do whatever they can to have a foothold on their negotiations.
yeah. And, there's a lot of money out there. Channel 12 was supposed to have 2 different stories on Clinton County last night.
Well, one of them on Pitzer.
One of them was on Pitzer, and the other one was on the mayor's vote of no confidence. But I did not, I could see it because we did have Chubby's Pizza. I was going to watch it if we didn't have Chubby's Pizza last night.
Did you hear Wilmington now has a new name? Peyton Place.
Well, yeah. Well, you know what? To be honest, it always has. It always has. I mean, this is more of a who you know, not what you've done.
Well, that's true. If you're not, it doesn't matter. I've been here since 1971, but if you aren't born in Clinton County, you don't count.
I was born in Washington Courthouse.
Well, Jerry and I were talking about the incestuous relationship. Of course, it happens in all small cities and big ones, but the incestuous relationship, and I don't mean that literally, but the relationship between all these people in Clinton County that are the who or think they are, and they get all these government jobs. They get all these high-paying, do-nothing government jobs. So whether they're sitting at a desk or they're shaking hands or kissing babies, and they get paid inordinate amounts of money from the county and from the city.
Sometimes they're kissing more than babies.
Well, that might be, but they end up in these jobs, and it's this person is dating this person, so now they have a job too, and it's ridiculous. And maybe it's simply because nobody wants to serve. But the people that are serving, you got to take a closer look at a lot of these people because they get these. And when I say cushy, for their education, for their background, for their experience, it's a very cushy job with a very decent amount of money, and they just don't have the kind of qualifications that that you should have for some of those positions.
Vicky worked 18 years, I'm assuming, in dispatch. Nothing has changed since. I left in 2002. Wilmington isn't that big to get that snooty either. I concur.
Well,
I agree.
That's true, but there are certain families that have, been in this county.
I'm going to stop here for a second. This just not Wilmington.
Oh no!
Yeah.
Oh no! It's all over.
Yeah,
it's all over.
I'll tell you the worst place I've seen it, and serious, over the years, and the people I've known, the State Highway Department.
Yeah, there's a lot.
The State Highway Department, if you got family, they'll hire family first. I've seen it time and time again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I hate to say this, but I'm going to put it out there because I know I'm right, even though I'll never get hired there to do anything again, which I don't really want to.
We've just eliminated our chances of getting a cushy government job?
East Clinton.
You mean at the high school?
I've taught in 3 school districts, and East Clinton by far was the most political. It was the more who you know instead of what you know.
Is that because it's the smallest of the ones that you taught in?
No, it's actually, it wasn't the smallest. Huntington was the smallest. Then Greenfield was the biggest, but I don't know. It just, yeah, it was just weird. And it still goes on today.
Oh, yeah.
Even
That
back
hasn't
when,
changed.
even back when I was a student, I can remember, you know, how certain things. We had a basketball coach, Jeff Hodson, a great basketball coach, and they let him go because he wasn't playing the right players. And that's when I was a student there. I mean, so I remember stuff. I could give you example after example, and you could too, couldn't you?
Oh, yeah.
Of people, it's just.
I was there 14 years. I saw a lot.
Well, I was there 12, and I went to school there, and I like I love a lot of the people, but they're just, especially in the administrative ranks, and I'm not talking about current administration. I never worked for them, but in past administration ranks, there was a lot of, it's all about me. I don't care what you do, you know.
Well, and that's, you know, once again, you get into some of these positions in government, and don't get me wrong, you know, you might say, well, educators are not government employees, but they are.
Yes, they are.
Yes, they are.
Yeah.
Yes, they
And
are.
there's as much politics in education.
More
and as far as
sometimes.
who gets hired, who doesn't get hired, all that, it goes in our school systems, it goes in our administrators, and, you know,
I see that.
how many times are we on?
About 6 right there. I think I've.
I mean, that's on yours. Now,
Yeah.
see, mine's charging, so until I get through the first break.
Larry Wilson's watching. Hi, Larry. Hi.
Duke Art, what's going on, Duke Wilson?
Cheyenne,
Cheyenne,
he's
yep.
watching.
Yep, he agreed. You know, Wilmington isn't that big. So there you are again watching. Well, we do have some news today. And,
What is it?
There's some news?
Yeah, we got some news.
All right.
What did you
And,
think about Pete?
Oh, yeah. Now,
I want to steal your thunder.
He's on, he's on the road to reinstatement.
No. Do you want my true feelings?
Yeah, let us have it, Charlie.
Bullshit. That's my true feelings because Pete Rose, one of the best, if not the greatest baseball player of all time. I still say to this day, I think there was a deal between him and Bartlett Giamatti that was like about a year out.
I think it was discussed back then.
I do.
I think that it
I
was pretty
think-
much a known fact.
I think Bartlett Giamatti was going to suspend him for a year, maybe 2 max, and then he was going to reinstate him.
But he died.
But then Bartlett Giamatti dies. And
best
for
laid
that,
plans.
and because of all that, I can't stand Paul Giamatti as an actor, his son, because Pete Rose was done wrong. And and also to throw him in with Shoeless Joe purposely threw games.
Right.
You know, they're not the same. Shoeless Joe, Pete Rose, even when he bet for the Reds to win.
Yeah.
Right.
That's how dumb he was on betting. But here's the thing.
So, Charlie, do you bet against the Reds?
Not usually, but I have. I bet.
Well, with their batting lineup, you should.
Last night I made 2 bets. And I thought, well, when I went to bed, I'm going to lose both these. I bet just for the Reds to win, straight up.
Did they?
And no, they got beat 5-1.
By the White Sox?
And the White Sox suck. But anyhow,
Yeah, they're in last place.
They have worst team in the.
so I didn't bet him that much. I only bet like $5 just for the Reds to win, make about $3 or $4 and forget about it. But anyhow, I thought, they throw these bets on there, and they're sucker bets, but I take them occasionally. They throw this bet on there, bet anybody to hit a home run, and if they don't hit a home run, we will give you a $5 bonus bet.
Oh, wow.
So I went ahead and took the bait. I swallowed it up to my belly button, and I bet for L.A. De La Cruz to hit a home run. By God, he did. I won $25 on that one bet.
Wow.
$5, and he hit it in the bottom of the 9th to tie it up. And then Chicago come back and won. But yeah, so I was up about $22, $21 on the night.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was just expecting to get the bonus bet back and try again. You know, have 2 shots at it.
Well,
Morning, Clinton, Michael Hilton,
Yeah.
and Michelle.
Clinton?
Michelle, I hope you're feeling better.
yeah, and of course,
Clinton, what's going
Yeah.
on? Clinton, I forgot. I hope you're still listening. Because one thing I remember, I told you I had a thought went right out of my head. I said, "Well, Clinton, at least you got out of the van in Tampa and not in El Salvador."
Right.
That was funny.
Yeah.
Come on, that was funny.
Well, it was funny yesterday, Charlie. It's not funny the second time around.
Yeah, we've heard it 3 times.
It's the first time for Clinton.
And Michelle, this is the first step in Pete being in the Hall of Fame eventually. So he's got to clear this hurdle, or they've got to clear this hurdle, which they have. So now the next thing is they'll have to, and I don't think they're going to wait a period of time. Had he still been alive, they probably would have made him suffer for a year. Or,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think, I don't know. If I'm his family, I'm probably going to accept it if they do put him in the Hall of Fame. But I don't, it's like someone said, well, his family ought to accept it and then just not show up to the Hall of Fame ceremonies, just to say, look, put him in there. It's really no big deal now because he's not alive,
Well, it's still an honor for him
Clinton
to be.
Becker laugh out loud.
Yeah,
He liked it.
funny.
El Salvador Clinton. What do you guys think about
Clinton,
it?
we'll get together and work on that project you want to work on. I had to take Joe Davis down to a volleyball match that he was refereeing because his car's not working. So hopefully, now today I'm going to have some things, but I'll get with you and we'll lay some things out. I have some
Clinton's
ideas.
going to be back next Tuesday.
Okay. Good.
Clinton, you need to call Joe Davis. It sounds like he needs a car.
Yeah.
And that was the other thing I was going to say. I'm glad you reminded me. Joe Davis is, I thought he was looking out at Wilmington Auto Sales, but if he is, he's not talking to you, I guess. Well, Joe Davis does need a car.
There you go.
He wants the smaller SUV type car. So he was looking at, like I suggested, a Buick, the little Buick SUV, or something along those lines. But that's what he's looking for. He wants something with decent gas mileage because he draws all over. He's driving everywhere for his
But he
matches
needs
and
something
everything.
with
But get him
little
something
protection.
quickly so I don't have to be running into Cincinnati and Columbus and everywhere.
Rick just started a new job this week. Rick Phillips, Uber.
Yeah, Uber driver for Joe Davis.
Michelle Tebow, you and I are 100% agreeable
Yep.
on this. Is that what you guys think?
Yeah.
But the other thing that, weren't we supposed to, wasn't this like luau week or something? Wasn't there supposed to be where was the luau? Oh,
That's supposed to be out to Aging Up,
I even had my shirt on.
but they canceled it.
All right.
They
It's
canceled
canceled.
it because they didn't have enough people.
I was disappointed. My hula skirt, my
Yeah,
coconut
your
bra,
coconut,
man.
yeah.
Message me his information. I'd love to reach out. We can do that.
He's going to be on the show later.
He's on Facebook. How's he going to get here?
Well, that's a good question because I said, well, you can walk. You're not that old. He says it's 5 blocks. I said
5, and that's all. 5 blocks and he can't walk.
Well, you ought to send him a message. Say, hey, if you need a ride,
he lives.
go pick him up.
Well, I don't know.
All right. There you go, Clinton. Take him a car out there.
Well, that would be a good idea. He's out. Where's the place?
It's out there behind the school.
Behind the junior high school.
Yeah. JD.
The old people's place. You got to be 50 to get in, or 55 to be able to get in.
Yeah, rent those houses back there.
Joe
Nice
says
little houses.
Joe says he's the youngest guy there.
Hell, he's 70-something.
I know, but everybody else is in their 80s and 90s
Really?
that
Wow.
live there. I said, well, the only way you get out, Joe, is you got to die.
Well, speaking of Pete Rose night, that's tonight, Pete Rose night. They're having a big thing for Pete Rose. Everybody comes, gets a
Jersey.
yeah, and it's an away gray jersey. I don't know if I like the way they did the jersey, but whatever. And it's that's cool. They're getting the jersey. It's going to be one of those probably one size fits all. Though, so it would never fit me.
Would rather
It's
have
sold
a
out.
bobblehead.
Sold out tonight. So
The fans are appreciating.
Pete Rose is Cincinnati, and Cincinnati just ought to be offended at the whole deal. To be honest,
What time is it?
it is 8:15. You want to take a break, or you want to wait?
Why don't we wait? Go ahead and finish up your news, and
It's
if we'll
gonna
take a
take a
break,
while.
my phone will be charged. It's going to take a while.
Yeah, but that's all right.
How many items do you have there? Is it like Trump,
12.
Trump?
No, it's not. There is a couple Trumps. There is a couple
Blowing
Trumps.
his trumpet.
No, it's that's what I call when we get home. We'll watch Fox News. I call it the Trump News Network now.
Yeah.
Because he's on there every day.
Although
Yes.
I don't think Fox News is that conservative anymore since the boys took it over. You know, they literally fought their father. Because he was trying to take it back, leaving it to him, and he was trying to take it back. And so I think there's a big fight among the elite at Fox News. The sons and the father are fighting over the network again.
I don't know. But all I know is you see, like, all the press conferences, everything, he's on there. Hell, he has press conference about every day. So, which is good.
And this, and I once again I took Joe to Cincinnati Elder last night because he was refereeing this first tournament volleyball match, and in fact Kings, because I didn't realize this, but a lot of volleyball teams that are girls only. They don't have boys teams.
Right.
So this is a relatively new sport
For guys.
for guys, at least recent. Now, I know because Beaver Creek's had a male volleyball team for 30 years.
Yeah.
But the bigger schools, the D1 schools, even of those, there aren't that many. So
Right.
there's only a handful that are actually in the tournament, and they're D1 and D2. But I'm thinking about things that I need to get done. But the stuff that was going on last night, as far as Joe Davis, he walks out of there at the end of the whole thing and forgets all his. He has a little bag that he takes.
He's old. I thought I forgot my phone this morning. I mean,
He forgets the
Threw it in
bag,
my
and I'm
bag.
thinking, I'll be damned if I'm going to turn around and drive back to Cincinnati Elder on the west side of Cincinnati,
No.
to get you your little douche bag or whatever you carry around.
more Pete Rose. That's where Pete Rose is from, west side of Cincinnati.
Yeah, although it wasn't Elder.
No, I'm not sure. Where did he go to school? Price Hill or?
Well, Price Hill is Elder. Elder's in Price Hill, or just outside of Price Hill. But I'm trying to think it's on the west side, obviously.
Kevin
because
Martin, if you're on, where'd Pete Rose go to high
we
school?
did some semi-pro football games at the school because Pete Rose paid for the complex for their baseball stadium, which was right next to the football stadium and that. But yeah, big old
Interesting.
Cincinnati school. The old, like you see, they almost look like universities. They're so big.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, well, the S&P closed yesterday for the first time this year in positive territory. I mean, it's had daily gains, but this is the first time it's actually.
So what is it up to,
It's a
like
gain.
27,000 or
I
something?
don't even know. I just know it's in positive territory, and it was at one point down 17%. The S&P, so that's pretty good. The markets were up again as a whole yesterday. I think one. Dow Jones might have been down just a hair, but they were down.
Egg prices are way down.
Yep,
Like
eggs.
the bottom fell out of the egg basket.
Well, here's what else is down. Tourism. Tourism is down in the U.S. UK and South Korea, they are sending about 15% less people to the United States for tourism. And Germany is down a whole 28%.
Yeah, Western Hills High School.
Western Hills. That's
Thanks,
it.
Vicki.
Well, no, that's also Kevin got it on there too.
Yeah, Michelle's got it. Kevin's got it.
Yeah, Michelle. Yeah, good job, guys.
Wayne Turner.
Travelers' average spending, and here's
Morning,
the reason.
Stephanie.
Here's the reason this makes a difference. Travelers' average spending about $4,000 person per trip. So it does hit the economy a little bit. New York City is down 17% in tourism from Canada. Okay. Saudi Arabia, this is funny, didn't pledge $600 billion. They pledged $1 trillion.
Well, Trump actually asked him to bump it up to $1 trillion, which they did.
Yeah.
142 billion of that is in a defense pact.
Like, what's an extra $400 billion when you got it laying around? Right?
And that's they do. That's the scary part. Plus, and
But they're trying to diversify. A lot of those Arab countries are trying to get out of the oil business and get more into technology and other things. So I think they
Yes.
want to cozy up to the U.S. because they see a lot of opportunity to get their economies running on something other than just oil.
folks, if you haven't figured this out yet, Trump is trying to beat China to the punch with dealing with all these Middle Eastern countries. Trump is going there, extending the olive branch and saying, hey, we've worked together before, let's keep working together. And so he's saying China is just you stay out of this.
So Rick's saying we'll be there. It's sold out. Are you talking, Rick, about?
He's going about the game tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's going to the
okay.
game
Yeah.
tonight.
All right.
Well,
Good
that
for
is
you.
cool, Rick Morton. Let's see. What else I got here? Saudi Arabia pledged $1 trillion. I understand they're wanting to lift the olive branch, and I don't know a lot about this.
Well, a lot of it has to do with
But-
Syria.
Well, that's just what I was going to say. He lifted the sanctions against Syria.
Right. They're trying to get Syria back on track.
Yeah.
It's important to the Saudis.
Well, that one guy, Assad's out there. He went to Russia, right? Isn't he in Russia still? Assad?
Everybody goes to Russia
You
when
got
they have
anything
no
on there
other
about
place to go.
Microsoft?
Yeah, I do.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'll shut up then.
Now, well, you can go ahead and say it. I don't care where I say it or you say it. Go
We're
ahead.
waiting, Jerry. Come on,
They're laying
tell
off
us.
6,000.
Yep, 3% of their
3% of their workforce.
Yeah, 6,000 people at Microsoft being laid off.
And why?
Probably
AI.
tariffs.
AI.
Yeah, AI.
All right, what else we got here? Oh, the NFL schedules are being dropped tonight. This is like a big deal now. 8 o'clock tonight.
Well, the Bengals, aren't they going to play abroad?
Cincinnati didn't make it.
Well, I'm glad you asked
They
that,
don't have a
Rick.
team.
Well, I mean, no,
game out.
Cincinnati. When I say, I think that they're playing an all-girls team their first game. They're guaranteed
I
to win.
understood it was the Bills. If it's the all-girls team, that might be the Cowgirls. Though.
Yeah.
Speaking of abroad, I'm glad you asked that, Jerry. Where are the 5 places the NFL is
Is
going
this
to
a
go?
game?
That's a list.
Germany,
Germany is 1.
England,
England's 2.
somewhere in South America.
Right. A little more specific, please.
Do I have to? I don't know.
Brazil. There you go. There's
Don't
3.
walk the beaches in Brazil without having shoes on, because there's all kinds of stuff you catch through the sand. Not pleasant.
Crabs. No, I'm just kidding.
but there are things you can acquire, like parasites through your skin and all that. Yeah, you don't want to go through the. It's not as nice. And bodies wash up on the beach all the time in Brazil.
So you got Sao Paulo, Brazil, London, UK, Berlin, Germany. What's
Aren't
the
they
other
playing
one?
in Mexico?
They did before, but not this year.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think the reason being is when
So
they did go
have
down there,
two
the
other
field
places
was a
that
mess.
we got to figure out. Two
Yeah,
more.
2 more.
Are they in Europe?
Yes, both of them.
So both of them are in Europe. So what's another European
France.
country?
No.
No, I was going to say the French are too much wussies. They don't. Football would be too hard for them to take. I'm sorry, all those wine drinkers.
Oh my goodness.
Wussy. Get a man sport.
Oh,
Well, they do have a big man sport here in this country.
You mean in this country that we're talking about them having football
Yes. But it's probably more of a man sport than football.
Oh,
in? Rugby? Is it rugby?
No. Well, rugby's probably played in one of these
that's
countries.
where they have the Iron Man.
No.
Huh?
Is it,
Bullfighting.
Spain?
Spain, yeah,
Okay,
Madrid.
Spain. One more.
That's a man sport.
So we have one more to go.
There's one more. Yeah.
Well, I don't think it's Portugal. What about?
no.
What about?
You've already said one in that same conglomerate of states.
You mean in Europe?
Yeah, you said one that's in that same.
Well, we knew it
Area.
wasn't France. We
No,
Italy?
think north and
Italy.
east, north and east of France. You said London, so you're close with London. There's another England or Ireland school, Dublin.
Oh,
Dublin, Ireland.
Okay.
Ireland, yeah, those are the 2.
Okay.
All right. GM is making a better, cheaper car battery, supposedly. I mean, one of the, for the electric cars.
You mean for the electric cars?
Yeah, for the electric
Well, there's a
cars.
couple companies that have got supposedly new batteries that charge faster, that are going to last longer and that are going to be applicable to the new, the electric cars. And they're going to need it because there's no way we can support on our grid all the cars that they've predicted. And California's about ready to fall in the ocean. They're in such trouble.
Rick sound like
Would that be a bad thing?
Rick sound like a Viagra ad.
Well,
Works faster, lasts longer.
well, from what you guys say, that doesn't work. You need that. What is it? Rose Sparks or whatever, the red pill or whatever.
I don't know.
You tried those?
No.
No.
I ain't gonna say it. I ain't gonna say it.
You trying to go down the rabbit hole, Charlie?
I was thinking maybe I needed a furry thong or something, you know.
Oh yeah. Where have we seen that
I don't
before?
know. I just saw
On
somewhere.
Facebook.
Yeah. Okay.
Jason Stoops. Do you know anything about that?
Oh, jeez.
Oh, I'm not trying to call any attention to Jason Stoops' Facebook page. Oh, actually, it's Tim Inwoods, right? Tim, how you doing today?
No. Should we take a break?
I think I should run for city council. What do you think?
I think you should. I think you should.
Well, we got to get someone that's sane in this race.
Right. Inflation is up 2.3% in April, but that's better than projected.
Well, first of all, inflation is considered 0 at 2%.
So there you go.
That's
So it's barely
and so
up.
it's just barely, 2.3% is just barely over what they would consider 0 because the Fed shoots for 2%. That's why, these liberals that are all saying, oh, well, it's still 2.3%. Well, 2.3 is not what you shoot for. You shoot for that 2% because you have to have a little bit of inflation. If you don't, then you get it.
And let's finish this argument right now.
All right.
For all you guys, whether you're Democrat, Republican, Independent, I don't care. The plane, boss, the plane
Yeah.
that Trump is getting is not for Trump. It is a gift to the United States, and they're going to use it in the Air Force.
They just
and
want another
military.
reason or excuse to try to impeach Trump.
It's
not going to work this time because, first of all, he is winning in just about everything now. Even in the courts now are starting to turn his way. They just said, what was it, a judge
They
in
can
Pennsylvania?
use that act, yeah. They
Yeah,
can
a
use
judge
that
in
act to
Pennsylvania
get them
has
out
said
of here.
yes.
Get them
for
out of
violent.
here.
Now they're saying
Finally,
for
common
violent,
sense.
Yeah, they're starting to wake up and say, hey, because he's starting to win, and the more he's winning, and the more people are on his side, and these poor liberals. I was arguing with a few last night, which I don't typically argue with them because you can't argue with liberals.
No.
But they and it was someone on Facebook from San Antonio, Texas, I think. But I don't know how I got hooked up with talking to someone about that. But anyway, they were just ragging and calling me everything in the world. But and they're all upset about all these white Africans that are being sent over
It
from
doesn't make
Africa.
any difference what color they are. White, black, blue, green, who cares?
Yeah.
I would be ashamed to be anywhere near the Democrat Party because those people have gone off the rails.
Well, no, I'm going to give a little time out to that. I know lots of
I'm just saying that legitimate
centrist
Democrats, what we used to call blue doll, they need to clean up their party.
Oh, my God.
Because you get like AOC, she's threatening. She was making all these threats yesterday about the fact that if you touch one congressperson that tries to go into that facility in New Jersey, she was talking like Civil War. And that lady is an absolute nutcase. She needs to be put in jail. How did you get stuck in the middle of this?
Karen, we're buddies. It's my buddy here. I ain't going to go hit him. Not on purpose.
We're
anyhow.
Italian. We're Italian.
Yeah.
But
I got big hands. Look how big those hands are.
I don't. I got wide palms, but I got short.
No, you
stubby
got
fingers.
rosy palms, Charlie.
Not for a long time.
It's time for a break.
Yeah, it's
It
time.
definitely is time for a break
Yeah.
after that. Jeez. Don Ho is leaving the table. He'll be back in a minute.
Yeah.
We're going to take a break. Everybody, come back, please.
Yeah. I don't.
Indulge in a variety of mouth-watering dishes, from juicy burgers and fresh salads to stacked sandwiches, delicious pizzas, warm soups, crispy fries, and finger-licking wings. Every bite is crafted with care using hand-grinded and breaded ingredients made right here in-house. Whether you're dining solo or with family or hanging out with friends, we have something to satisfy every craving. That's the Rusty Keg in Washington Courthouse, the best fries in town.
Are animals using your house as their new home? Spring is around the corner, and so is birthing season for wildlife. Give us a call today if you are hearing noises in your attic or under your house. Here at Diamondback Wildlife Extraction, we can take care of your wildlife removal needs and repairs. Nuisance wildlife can be very destructive to your house, such as
Roller Haven is located at 1640 U.S. Highway 22 Northwest, Washington Courthouse, Ohio. The perfect place for a day out with the family, birthday parties, and even an organization event or fundraiser. Check out our website, rollerhavenwch.com. Or give us a call at 740-335-6481 and we can help plan your event. We look forward to seeing you there.
Forget the clown princes of basketball, the Harlem Globetrotters. There's a new all-star, family-friendly comedy polo team taking the sporting entertainment world by storm. The Equine Trots.
Bringing their highfalutin, high-kicking, mallet-swinging, horsey hijinks to an equestrian center near you.
I'm Amanda Martin.
And I'm Steve Burnett. Made up stories just like these.
As well as real news about what's coming to the Murphy.
Ohio's hometown theater in downtown Wilmington.
On the Murphy Report. News the way it's meant to be delivered.
In less than 30 minutes, or it's free.
The Murphy Report. Find us on the Murphy Theater website and our YouTube channel with a brand new report every Monday morning.
Amanda, my buddy Sam was recently tossed from his own horsey all the way across the arena, landed in a soft bale of hay right next to another horse that was already asleep.
Oh my, that sounds dangerous. What's his condition?
Stable.
The Murphy Report.
Remember, if it's news to you,
it's news to us.
Went out, and it started right back up.
Let's get personal. Let's get personal.
A new twist.
Oh,
A new twist, yeah. There's going to be a
The epiphany happened last night.
website associated with Let's Get Personal. That is going to be a dating website.
Yes.
Ah.
Don't tell anybody.
Cupid Phillips is loading the bow and arrow, and is about ready to let it
Ain't it
fly.
the truth, huh?
So there, and again, the only hold up on that, folks, and the Game Possible show is we haven't had our Raisin Bran yet. We need fiber. Fiber. Thanks, JJ, for the stars. Michelle Tebow, Rick, did the liberals get you frustrated?
Well,
I'd
she
say
was
that's the
referring to my
understatement.
commercial break, trying to figure out what I was doing here. And yes, I do get a little excited sometimes. And it's not, I don't hate liberals. I just don't understand. I don't want to. I got to be careful, but I just don't understand. You know, I try to listen and try to make, and some things actually do make sense. But I don't know. Some of the people, they just, they're against the things that benefit the country.
Let's
Just because they want to be against Donald Trump.
I think
I don't like Donald
verbiage.
Trump. Donald Trump can be pretty annoying.
Arrogant, yeah.
But the point is, I like his policies.
Right.
They're good for the country. They're good for my kids. They're good for my grandkids. They're good for my business. And that's what sure as heck didn't get that out of Barack Obama or probably the last
Sleepy Joe,
the
yeah.
last Democrat that had some inkling about how the economy worked was Bill Clinton.
Bill Clinton. I
Yeah.
like Bill Clinton.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think maybe we're using the wrong verbiage there. Here's the thing. People with Trump derangement syndrome we have issues with. Liberals we don't really have any issues with because unless they have TDS. Now, if they have TDS, yeah, we got an issue. But I keep trying to give advice to liberals. Quit shooting yourself in the foot. Rather than telling us how much you hate Trump, which we all know, tell us what you're going to do for me. Tell them what you're going to do for the country.
Right. How are you going to improve my business? How am I going to make more money?
Here we go again.
How am I going to do things, that are going to benefit my children and my grandchildren? You don't have diddly squat. You got that dumb bartender that claims to be a politician,
That
who's
might be your next Democratic
who's worth
presidential candidate.
14-15 million dollars, and
Making
she's-
$600,000 a year, or whatever.
Yeah.
they make $280,000 a year,
$280,000 a year.
and she's worth 14 million now. And she was standing on bars and
Oh my!
showing her gonads or whatever they show when they dance on bars. She's a disgrace.
What else
She's
you
an
got in the
absolute
news,
disgrace.
Charlie?
Well, actually, unfortunately, that was about it.
You're letting me down.
But we are definitely pillorying the Liberal Party there. We're definitely public criticizing them or ridiculing. And that's our word of the day. So it worked right out. Pilloried.
Pilloried? Pilloried.
Pilloried. Is that what it is?
Yeah, it's pilloried.
Pilloried. All right.
It rhymes with Hillaried.
I mean,
If you've been
hold on.
Hillaried, if you've been
Hillaried is permanent.
that's Clinton's, yeah.
Do you know there's a bill right now? I do have one other little bit of news here, but it's not passed yet. But I thought this was kind of already passed. The state of Ohio, where now they're going to make casinos where you just gamble online. The state of Ohio is going to maybe pass that bill. I don't know if I like it. Sports betting is enough. I don't know if I like the idea.
We're getting, I mean, the vices are everywhere, and the people, you know, these are addictions that can really be destructive to families
Right.
and, you know, to people in general. It's just too easy. You know, it's like drugs. It's just too easy to get hooked on that kind of thing. And, you know, I even worry about you, Charlie, but you don't really.
You know what? That last night was the first bets I'd placed like in 3 weeks. So, next subject, please. We're getting there, Jay. I just tried switching it.
Do we have any rabbit holes to go down, Charlie?
Rick keeps bringing it back.
Kevin, I worried about that myself.
What, you hanging out with a different boy? Oh, man.
It was spending the night with Joe Davis last night. You know, taking him to
You weren't
Spending the
supposed to.
night.
You weren't supposed to take
Spending
him
the
over.
night.
You were supposed to take
well,
him.
I had to drop him off at his house, but
Well, let's talk about guests that are coming on.
All right.
Tomorrow we have Chris Robinson coming on. Plus, we may be loaded tomorrow because we have Uncle Punky, and we also have Travis
Johnny's
Fenstermacher,
lunch money.
and we also have.
I thought there was someone else coming.
There is. I'm getting ready.
Chris
to say-
Robinson.
Well, I already said him. Scott Sparks may also be in at 9 o'clock. He is the Buckeye WX weather
Oh, that's
guy.
right. He's the weather guy.
Which I'd like to get a daily weather report for him to send me, and I could read the Buckeye WX weather report every day.
Sure, we could. We'd drive him to his website.
I think that would be
Drive him
great.
somewhere.
Friday, we got Wild Bill Learman in the house, and I don't think we have any guests right now for this
Next
Friday.
week, it's
Next Friday,
Bogart.
we got Marty Bogard.
we're going to talk barbecue.
Next Monday, we got Chris and Tay Newport. We got to ask Chris about discovering Jamestown, though.
Yeah.
We didn't realize that he did.
Well, we didn't know he discovered Jamestown until we just read about
yesterday,
it.
yeah. Tuesday,
This is
Clinton,
back in history today.
Was that the
because-
News Journal?
Clinton Becker will be back again Tuesday because that's his regularly scheduled day he has with us. And
So why did he come in yesterday?
well, he wanted to.
Oh,
He wanted to kind of clear the air on his stuff, which we did. I think we did a pretty good job without getting too in depth in it. The only thing that makes me mad about that whole deal is it could have been done in a 5-minute Zoom meeting and saved thousands of
Oh
dollars.
yeah.
That's
you mean
what
his
makes me
appearance
mad.
yesterday?
Yeah. Well, no, I mean just his appearance down Tampa, and we're so glad they didn't send him to El Salvador.
But, well, that's true.
I'm sorry, it's funny. Danielle
Kevin Martin.
Johnson. Danielle Johnson will be here at next Wednesday. She is the new
Who is barbecue?
Yeah. Who's barbecue?
mayor of Sabina.
We caught that play on words, Kevin.
And then next
Speaking
Friday.
of barbecue, we need to get Tin Cap back in here.
Yes.
You guys need to be drinking some more apple cider.
Sports Card Show is this Saturday. Also, we're going to go see Ryan Briggs. Come see me. I'm gonna have some. Come see me and bring plenty of cabbage with you. because I'm gonna have some pretty rare cards out
Yeah,
there.
you're emptying your Cincinnati warehouse, aren't you?
No, I'm gonna keep my Cincinnati warehouse. I
Well, then
think.
you're not giving away anything.
No, I ain't giving away crap, but I'm gonna have some nice cards. I'm gonna have like a 71 or 70 Lou Alcindor, Will Chamberlain for sale, Dave DeBusschere. You know, Dave DeBusschere used to play for the Chicago Cubs too.
Didn't he play at East Clinton?
No.
Everybody played at East
No.
Clinton. You sure?
Who else have I got that's in that list? John Havlicek. There's several good. I mean, but they're
Speaking
1971
of a
cards.
basketball disappointment, how about those Cleveland Cavaliers? Boy, they choked big time, didn't they?
Clinton is sulking
Yeah,
today.
he drove up there, didn't he? He took the family up, I thought.
I don't know. I think they just went to a friend's house and watched it on TV.
Okay.
I think is what they did.
If you drove 3.5 hours to go up and see that,
He didn't know because remember he put a post out yesterday. He left work because he was feeling a little ill.
well, Joe Davis and I were at Fricker's at Fields Erdel in Cincinnati after we got done with his gallivanting around doing volleyball refereeing, and we were watching a little bit of the Reds game when they were playing the White Sox. Did you know that the Reds have like 3 or 4 players now that are batting under 200?
Oh yeah,
They have an anemic batting lineup.
well, it's funny.
How about them Reds? You know,
they
every
moved,
year they promise you the world and they give you.
They moved the second baseman. I can't think of his name right offhand. Usually by second or third, they moved him down to 8th. First time up, he hits a double. So maybe that's a good move. On the pitcher for the Reds last night, Abbott pitched 6 solid innings. The Reds,
He's a good pitcher.
Reds tied is 1-1 in the bottom of the 9th, and then the top of the 10th, the freaking White Sox scored 4. So Reds got to get some run
Was that the
production going.
bullpen? Because the Reds bullpen sucks. doesn't
Yeah,
it?
it was a bullpen. I'm not sure what. I went to bed because I just figured I just threw my $9 away in the bet. I woke up.
You said you won some money.
I woke up and I was like $23 ahead. I was like, woohoo! 10 cap on Thursday trivia.
Yeah,
There you
they
go.
got a smoking trivia night on Thursdays.
Yeah,
at
they
10
have
Cap.
quite a lineup. I know they have karaoke once a week. I think. You guys ever do that? What's your go-to? There we go. And you guys at home answer this question.
Oh, here we go.
We're getting
This
in the
is a-
game. We're going
this
down
is-
the game rabbit hole.
Well,
But this is a
listen,
good question. I know what he's going to say.
What is your go-to? Go ahead, finish it.
Your song for
What's your
karaoke.
go-to karaoke song? And name out on here.
I have never gotten up and sang in karaoke.
I'd say mine's probably either Bounty Hunter or Bounty Hunter by Molly Hatchet, or I tell you what, another song I really like, but it's got to be in the right key, is Turn the Page, Bob Seger. Ooh.
Michelle Tebow, the Reds are just inconsistent. Well, no shit, Michelle. They promise you the world at the beginning of the
They
season.
don't promise
All these poor
anything.
Reds fans get all excited. It's like me talking about Democrats. They get all excited and hipped up, and they get let down.
You know, but the one thing about I think they've got a manager now
That's going to get them.
that's not going to take much more of this, and he's going to start.
Resign?
No, he's going to start telling people how it is.
No, he doesn't have a vote of no confidence. He's all right.
Tequila. I know all of them.
Oh, Tequila is Kevin Martin's go-to song. It's because it has no words. But that's all right because you can do the ba-da-ba-da-da-da-ba-bum, ba-da-ba-da-dee-da-da.
Is that when you take the drink?
You know why Kevin Martin likes that? Because his idol is Paul Rubens.
More people get crazy on tequila than any other drink.
Herman. I hate tequila.
I
When
don't
you
like
say
tequila
tequila, I start to like gurgle in my throat.
Well, there's only one thing that I detest more than tequila when it comes to alcohol, and that's
Democrats.
scotch.
Yeah, liberals.
That's scotch. Scotch. Just give me my Jack Daniels. That's all I need.
You're the reason our kids are ugly. Duet with Alan. That's a great song. You're the reason our kids are ugly.
Oh, gosh.
Okay. What about you guys? What would, even if you don't have one, what would be
Well,
your,
you know, I'm
your go-to karaoke song?
You know, I'm a country person.
Yeah.
Probably Country Roads.
Country roads take me home. Right, that one.
Yeah.
To the place I belong.
I like the Pina Colada
West
song.
Virginia. That is a good song.
Yeah.
That is a good song. I've done
That's not
karaoke
what we
since
call it, though.
2000 in Cartagena, Colombia, but it would be anything Journey. Journey, that's not the
Journey's-
easiest stuff to sing either.
No, it isn't.
Some
Yeah.
of that gets up pretty daggone high.
Yeah.
I kind of like, I tell you another one I would do, even though I'd have to have the words in front of me, is She Didn't Even Call Me By My Name.
Yeah.
David Allen Coe.
Yeah. You got to be careful, David Allen Coe.
Oh, I know. I know. He's pretty bad.
Yeah.
It'd be like
Talk about going down a rabbit
10,
hole.
10 minutes on the morning show, right?
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Ah, geez, David. But David, Rocky Top, Michelle Tebow. There you go. There you go. That's a good
Well,
one.
it's
I
time for
sing that
another
song
break,
around
Charlie.
all the time.
I'm going to go over to the board.
It is time for another break. So we'll go have a break. Think about put your karaoke song, your go-to. There's like at least 20 of you watching, if not more. Put in your go-to karaoke song.
All right, Mike.
City Council surprisingly votes 4-3, banning citizens from dressing up their puppies.
Mere days before the local kennel club's National Puppy Jamboree.
It's a canine conundrum.
And City Hall has blood on its paws.
I'm Amanda Martin.
And I'm Steve Burnett.
Feel-good stories we make up just for you every Monday morning, plus the latest on what's coming to the Murphy Theater in Wilmington, Ohio on The Murphy Report.
Your mistrusted name in made-up news.
The Murphy Report. Find us on the Murphy Theater website and our YouTube channel.
I don't know if you're aware of this, Amanda, but I dress up both of my dogs, Claire and Wally.
Let me guess. Bonnie and Clyde.
Nope.
Abbott and Costello.
Nope.
Mickey and Minnie.
Ah, close. William Gibbs McAdoo and the first of his 3 wives, Sarah Hazelhurst Fleming.
Of course, the Treasury Secretary under Woodrow Wilson.
And his wife. The Murphy Report. Remember, if it's news to you,
It's news to us.
Some people just know they could save hundreds on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Like you know to check the game is actually over before you storm the court. Yeah, checking first is smart. So check Allstate first for a quote that could save you hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Okay.
And we're back.
We're back. Okay, now if you don't give us your go-to karaoke song, we're going to think up one we'd like to see you sing. We would like to. That would be fun. I don't do karaoke because I taught music for so long. I heard enough bad notes. Alan's is keep your hands to yourself. There you go. That's a good one. That's a good one. Okay, if you had to give Michelle Tebow or JJ a song to sing, what would you give them a song?
I'm not touching that, Charlie. You want to do it? Go ahead.
I don't know.
I'm not that crazy.
I know JJ's like a virgin,
Oh gosh.
touched for the very first time.
No, touch for the very first time.
That's what I
not
said.
touch by the very first time.
Touched the very first time.
I think you're touched.
Like a virgin, JJ. There you go. Michelle Tebow, what would be a good one for her to sing? We got to think.
These boots are made for walking.
These boots are made for walking. JJ. Oh, hey, JJ, you wanted us to switch subjects.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about CT Bowen?
What was it? I don't
The
know.
auctioneer song. There you
Yeah.
go. CT. Hey, give me there you go. Have you ever heard the auctioneer song? CT. There you go. What about Clinton Becker? What'd be a good one for him?
Oh, you're just getting deeper and deeper, aren't you, Charlie?
What'd you say? You said something about false imprisonment. Is that a song? Is that a song?
J-
I don't think
Come
so.
on, Jerry. Pull yourself together.
No, I know what Clinton's would be.
Love you, Clinton.
I'm going to tell you, this is what happens when Charlie can't find anyone to come in on a certain
Oh,
day.
I love these
yeah.
days.
and
Shit
then
happened.
I end up at the table, and then you know what's going to happen.
Clinton, I tell you a good song I'd like to see Clinton sing. First of all, anything Beach Boys, since he likes Florida so much, or Kokomo. There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How about, there's Jeffrey Schusler.
Oh, here we go. Jeffrey Schusler.
He doesn't even know the big announcements. I've got a couple announcements here. Let me
Make
start
your
off.
announcements while we think of a song.
Let me
that
start
Jeffrey
off.
Schusler
The first
should
announcement
karaoke.
is we have finally, I believe, hired a new tech person here at the Murphy Theater. And so today they are going to be recording new commercials for the Murphy and some new things for the Murphy's website. So all that's going to happen today. So we won't have to play some of these old commercials we've been playing now for 6 months. We'll have some new fresh material. And then the other thing is, and we'll talk about more of this on Sunday, Jeffrey. Another reason why you need to bring in your girl with the seal, and we'll just keep it at that. But anyway, we're going to develop some additional things for Let's Get Personal, including a dating website. What are we saying here?
JJ, don't make me come in there unannounced and sing like a virgin. Hey, you're more than welcome anytime. That would be even more of a hoot if you come in singing like a virgin.
Well, JJ, if the shoe fits, wear it. You
No,
know,
that's
all I can
Jeffrey.
say.
That's Jeffrey Schusler.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, if the shoe fits, foot doctor.
Well, that's true. We were talking about your feet the other last night. I was talking to him on the phone when I was
About my feet?
watching. Yeah, we were talking about your feet.
Oh God. Okay.
Yeah, I don't even know how we got on that subject. Well, how did I get on these subjects with these people? But
Isn't there HIPAA law?
Yeah, HIPAA.
Charlie says he's an open book, so
I am, I don't care.
we can talk about all his medical issues, including
I got a few.
including those big lesions on his feet. And the people, it won't matter because
Seal is on your what?
seals what?
What, Kiss from a Rose? Is that your go-to karaoke song, Jeffrey Schusler?
Well, no, seal. If you remember the picture I showed you of the one young lady that Jeff says is just anxious to death to get on Let's Get
But
Personal.
he won't bring her to a meeting.
Yeah, he won't bring her to a meeting.
Something's rotten
The
in
girl
Denmark.
is in a bathing suit, and
Yeah.
she has a seal with her.
Oh,
A
that's
seal
right.
seal.
Yeah.
Not Seal, the actor or singer.
She has a real live
A real
seal.
life, well, I don't know if it's alive because it was a picture of her with a seal. But anyway, so I told him,
I'm
have her-
surprised he even saw the seal.
have her bring the seal. Yeah, that's true. Have her bring the seal in as well. You know, I'd like to talk to the seal. I'm just wanting to meet some of these people that might be involved with the show.
I think you should have Jerry and me on it, but we'll come in incognito.
Well, Jerry can come
Just a
on because
stir.
Jerry is still
Oh, that's
eligible.
right. Jerry is
Charlie,
single.
you aren't eligible because you're married.
Yeah.
Although there's some new stuff brewing. We're getting, the longer we don't have fiber, the more shit I come up with that we can put on Let's Get
That's not
Personal.
good. That's not good.
I know.
So Jeffrey Schusler, what do you think? A karaoke song for him. I got a couple.
Gotta have something to do with feet.
Yeah, I'm walking. Yes, indeed, I'm talking.
Seal the
For
deal.
you and me. Also, isn't there a song "Sand in My Shoes"?
No, that is. I thought that was. I thought that was our
Sand in your-
sand in your.
Sand in your swimsuit.
Swimsuit,
But
yeah.
I think there is a song "Sand in Your Shoes." I think Kenny Chesney has a thing about sand in the shoes. I think. I'm not sure. Who else is on here? Matt Beamer. What would be his? I can see Matt Beamer doing some Charlie Daniels, like the South's going to do it again or something like that. JD, definitely. JD, he could do something like that. I can see JD doing some David Allen Coe too.
You have a word of the day? Did you give it to us?
I haven't
Yeah.
given you my word of the day
Yeah,
yet.
He mispronounced
Oh,
it.
I did. Yeah. Well, what was it? Since you pronounced it right.
A fluffer.
No.
Didn't you? Wasn't fluffer the word of the day?
It was.
You know what a fluffer is, Charlie?
No.
Well, if any of you out
Is
there,
it like a glory hole?
well, sort of. If anyone out there, look up the term fluffer. It's used in movies.
Mine was pyloried, publicly criticizing and ridiculing. Pyloried. These boots are made for walking. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Well, we already gave that to someone else. We gave that to Michelle.
Michelle.
Did you look up fluffer, Jerry?
No.
So Kevin Martin, look up Fluffer and throw it up there for us.
No, don't do that. Don't throw it up, Kevin. No.
Oh, and realize Rick is the only one who knows what it means.
Well, I
on
mean,
the board
it's
here.
it's used for a specific purpose in the movie industry.
Oh.
Yeah.
Mark Rogers. Every toe has its corn.
Every
toe has its corn.
Every
Question.
toe has its corn.
Question.
Yeah.
That's funny. That is funny. I like that. So it's 8:55. Well, its first hours went by pretty quick.
Well, that's because you got such
Let me
dynamic people on the program today.
We've got some-
I occasionally get loose from behind my evil table.
I just hope I don't catch it.
Get in front. Get in front.
I'll tell you what. Today is going.
Quick!
The possibility of what might happen. I keep watching for the front door.
Michelle
See what's
says,
going on.
you can have my song. All right, there you go. So that means we got to come up with another one for Michelle.
Oh,
She didn't like her song. She rejected it.
Let's see. Yeah, that's what it sounds like. Yep. That's what it sounds
What about
like.
the wheel going round and round and round?
That's, the wheels on the
Wheels
bus
on the
go round and
There you go.
round, round.
How's that, Michelle?
that's for Karen. Cause she drove.
Yeah, Karen, yeah.
She drove a
Karen.
bus
Oh,
too.
yeah,
Karen Lowell.
Well, she was also
there you
a
go.
truck driver, wasn't she?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So hers would be Convoy.
Yeah.
Convoy. We've got the rubber ducky here. Or anything, Smokey and the Bandit.
Eastbound.
That's a great, eastbound down, loading
Loading
up.
up
It
and
seems
trucking.
like, of course, you were saying, Charlie, you thought Wednesdays were harder to get people to come
They
in.
are for some reason.
But so we always end up on hump day being the three of us here.
Well, next
right.
Wednesday we do have the mayor of Sabinal coming in, Sabina.
Oh, wow.
Danielle Johnson. I tell you what, I did book a. I think that it's going to be a very interesting guest, but he's getting ready to go a little vacation, so he's not coming until June 2nd. But Frankie Wolf is going to be in here, and Frankie is a friend of mine. I used to play in a band with his wife Joyce.
Jeffrey
Very
Schusler,
talented.
you said a fluffer. Well, did you look it up, Jeff?
Frankie is coming in though. And Frankie is a liver transplant survivor,
Oh, wow.
which is going to be cool to talk to him about that. But he's also the one, he's a huge Beatles fan. He probably knows more Beatles history than anyone else in the whole tri-state area. He's the one that I told you guys about a few weeks ago that just went to Liverpool on his own for vacation. And did a lot of stomping around where the Beatles were, and he is a Beatles connoisseur. So
He needs to get with my first wife's husband. Oh my God.
conjunction junction. What's your function?
So do they get these little flags when they're milestone followers?
Yeah, I think so.
So the people with the flags are conjunction, what's your function?
No, JJ, you just want. I'm just a bill. I'm just
There's
a
something
bill.
like that sounds like conjunction.
Dysfunction.
Well, I don't know.
Conjunctivitis is
Yeah.
pink eye. Yeah.
Right.
I don't like you talking about
Is that pink eye?
conjunctivitis. Yes.
Okay. All right.
Conjunctivitis is pink
I guess
eye.
no one's figured out what a fluffer is.
Well, we're online. We don't want to go look real quick, even though Noni commented on another page on her show.
What'd she say?
I don't know. I didn't look because it's on another page. If you guys comment,
What do you
really,
mean another page?
ones I share them to.
Oh, she was on another page and
And
commented on our show.
there. Yeah, so we don't necessarily see it here.
So we don't know if she answered us.
Well, she likes that other side of the aisle sometimes. But I could sit and talk to Noni for 100 years.
Oh, you're talking about when we got off on a tangent
Yeah.
about liberals?
Because, yeah, Noni, I'll be honest with you, Noni is one of those people that if she was running for anything, I'd vote for her, even though she is, on the other side. Noni's smart,
There's nothing wrong with
level-headed,
being on the
and
other side.
gets things done. Noni is great. I looked it up, not interested. As someone that
I wasn't
keeps-
suggesting it, Michelle, for you,
the penis hard.
but it is a needed function.
Oh,
It
a
has its
fluffer is the one. Okay, I got you in the movies. Okay, I got you.
Oh. Yeah, but what kind of movie?
We're thinking something really
It just hit me.
different.
It just hit me what he's
Well,
talking
we're
about.
going to talk about it at the break, guys. So
No,
when we
we're
take our
not
next
gonna
break,
talk about
I'll explain it to you. I'll explain it to
I
you.
think I've heard you talk about it before.
I don't think so.
Well, I'll tell you what. While you're walking up here. Let me give the local birthdays. Then when we come back, we'll do the celebrity birthdays.
Severe storm winds, they're saying.
Tomorrow, yeah. Okay, so here we go. Local birthdays today: Bard Morris, Marilyn Hartley, Wayne Turner, Brenda Freeman Haley, Chris Parker, Adam Kidd, Jerica Stackhouse, teacher down Leesburg, Rhonda Hart, Samuel Lee Workman, Mandy McGuire Bloom, Joshua Minor, and Michael Williamson. You're all, what's that? JJ told you. She said what it is in between scenes. JJ, you sound like you have some experience here.
Oh,
Oh, poor JJ.
Just kidding, JJ. We love you.
Don't you have some other birthdays?
No, yeah, we got celebrity birthdays here when we come back.
All right, we'll take a break.
69. No. Right.
77.
Labor analysts have done the math. If God used union workers to create the world, just how long would it take?
6 days and a day of rest? Hardly. Experts say we might still be under construction, but at least we'd be on more solid ground.
I'm Amanda Martin.
And I'm Steve Burnett.
Made-up stories just like these are what we're about on The Murphy Report, with a new report every Monday morning on the Murphy Theater website and our YouTube channel.
Plus all the real news about what's coming to the Murphy Theater.
Ohio's hometown theater in the heart of downtown Wilmington.
Hosted by veteran anchors Vanessa Del Rey and Breck Stone. It's news you might lose. But if you do, we'll find it, we'll pick it up, we'll roll it up, and we'll stick it back in your front screen door.
That sounds more like a newspaper, Steve.
This isn't a newspaper?
The Murphy Report.
Remember, if it's news to you,
It's news to us. A major shakeup in the pharmaceutical industry as Flintstone Vitamins taken to task for tasting nothing like Fred or Wilma.
and as for Pebbles, well, she's already a fruity breakfast cereal. Why dietitians and nutritionists coast to coast are warning us to yabba dabba don't when it comes to ingesting these chalky childhood chewables.
I'm Amanda Martin.
And I'm Steve Burnett.
Looking out for your health and well-being is just a sample of the kind of made-up news you can expect on The Murphy Report.
Earning the reputation as the mistrusted name in news isn't something that we take lightly.
In fact, most wouldn't take it at all.
And our efforts reflect that, with a trophy case in our lobby filled wall to wall with empty shelves.
Let the other outlets vie for trophies and your respect.
We're simply too busy making it up to care for such accolades, with a new report posted every Monday on the Murphy Theater website and YouTube channel.
The Murphy Report, with veteran news anchors Vanessa Del Rey and Breck Stone.
Remember, if it's news to you,
It's news to us.
Let's get personal.
Personal. Let's get personal. Personal.
Sundays, fun days with your host, Dr. Footlong, Jeffrey Schusler, and Sarah, play me like a piccolo fife. You like that? A little sound effect
You threw it
here.
right in there.
All right.
Charlie, you're such a
Sundays, 5 to 8 plus.
Multi-talented individual, Charlie.
They're going to have a dating site with it.
I don't know, Michelle, whether there are male fluffers. I didn't actually run across that.
I think
before.
you ruffled his fluffer feathers there, Michelle.
Fluffed my feathers.
Yeah, he fluffed his feathers. You did something to his feathers there.
Yeah.
He about threw stuff at us when you put that on there. Dang. JJ, what am I going to do with you? Man. JJ Marie, I ain't telling all my secrets. I just speak my mind.
There you go.
Oh.
There you go.
Oh.
We like a woman that speaks her mind.
That's right.
Hey, JJ's single. That might be a contestant for your show. Let's get personal. She would be fun on there.
Well,
You have to think about that. She has a live-in, but they're not married.
as we say, we take all comers, Charlie.
No pun intended.
No.
All comers.
All right.
Well, no, we are, and it's like I said, seriously, the longer this fiber thing draws out. The more things I come up with because I'm bored. So,
Fiber.
you know. But originally, and I think I've told this story before, but I'll tell it again because I like telling it. When I originally got the domain, Let's Get Personal, it was back in the late 90s, you know, when Al Gore had just invented the internet. And I got the name specifically to do a dating website game show. And we did, this was back before, you know, the internet was as powerful as it is now, and you could do streaming like we do here and all that. But so we didn't have the ability to stream to the internet like we currently do. So we, in order to promote the website, which was where the money was going to be made, dating website, of course, we solicited Bill Cunningham, and we did 13 pilot shows of this dating show, 3 people sitting on bar stools in a bar, and it was at Willie's Sports Cafe. He had, I think, 5 of them in Cincinnati, one in just across the river in Covington, which is where we were. And on Friday nights, we taped these shows. They were an hour long. They were on Star 64 in Cincinnati, and they were on some of the cable channels in Cincinnati. And so we did 13 of these, but it was so doggone expensive to do the shows, to put them on the air. It was prohibitive for us to make any money off the website. But now, come full circle, that we are here in this age where we can actually promote ourselves on the air, you know, on our own television network, it makes it a lot more practical. So there will be a dating show or a dating component to Let's Get Personal. But it's going to still be about relationships. And we are probably, and as I've said before, we're in a period of time when, first of all, I've talked with a
Young
number...
ladies are screwed up.
It's not that
I can say
it's not that the ladies are any more screwed up than the guys. It's just that we've reached a point where it's very difficult for people, whether you're young or old, to meet other people if you're single. And I don't think it's ever been like that in my, you know...
Well,
all you gotta do is go on Instagram. There's people wanting to talk to me all the time.
yeah, but the thing of it is, I think they're so they're so used to doing everything on screen, back and forth, that they don't know how to interact.
Well, and let's
the first thing you got to do is you got to make the contact. You got to meet them somewhere.
Time out. Let's cut to the chase. What you always see on the screen might not look half as good when you see it in person. That's another reason they put
you mean
that
like those
off.
AI figures you generate, Charlie?
But I admit it.
Captain America.
No, wait a minute. When I do that, though...
Schussler's is bad.
When I do that, I tell you up front. And even if you make a comment on it, like, hey, you're looking very good. I said, it's AI. I'll tell you right away. A lot of these girly girls, they don't do it to that extent. They do it, and then they like, because I know some girls on there, oh my God, you see them in public and you think, wait a minute, that's the same girl.
Charlie, have you ever, look, when I worked in nightclubs as a disc jockey, the clubs are very dark. So have you ever like gone out in the light and seen a lot of the people that were in these clubs, male or female, and it's probably even more bizarre today, but when you see them actually in the daylight or in bright sunshine or in even bright parking, lot light, it's what's he saying?
Charcuterie dating.
Charcuterie dating. Is that what you call it, Jeff? And JJ Marie saying
exactly. I think she's saying exactly like what she's agreeing with me on that.
I think any way you look at it, that it works both ways, because you don't know a lot of times who you're talking to. Now, there will be some differences because obviously, once again, if we have the bandwidth, there can be a lot of things that are done right there online, visually as well as just talking. But there'll be a number of components that we'll develop with this, and since we've got the time between now and actually getting fiber in here, whenever that is, I'm probably going to end up being 72 before that happens.
It's just when you talk about this stuff, some of the pictures that go through my head, it's like, oh my God. They all get prettier at closing.
That's true, Vicky.
time.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah. You got another shot of tequila in you, who knows?
Well, there's always, if you
There's
carry
no
a flag, you can just do it for
But
glory.
it's just like it's like a lot of the young girls that we have talked to about doing Let's Get Personal on the show. When I ask them, how they're finding people to date, it's all through dating apps. They don't go to bars. They don't meet people in church. They don't meet people at functions. It's all they're relying on the internet and dating apps.
Yeah.
And so, once again, I think that if you've got like Let's Get Personal, you've got where there's discussions about some of the pitfalls.
There
some
are
of the
a
things
lot of people that have met their husbands and wives through dating apps.
Yeah. So but I think there can be something more than just a dating app, because that's like shooting in the dark, or I think that
Cupid.
there are a lot of places that people just get they get caught up in some of this stuff, and I don't know how anybody ever dates.
I don't know.
Plus, it's expectations. I think that people have more
You're
expectations.
better off to have no expectations.
Yeah,
I
but
learned
you
that.
can't. No one's going into dating having no expectations. Obviously, you have things that you're trying to, let's say, achieve.
I know. I'm going to tell you. With my first wife, I had expectations. With my second wife, I had no expectations.
What about your third wife?
I mean,
Or your fourth
seriously though? I mean, has it changed for you guys since you've been married a couple of different times? Like,
We've been married 4 times, Charlie.
Well, I know, but I was trying to be nice about it. I don't do dating apps. Fell for that once and not going there again. Puke.
Well, I think a lot of it depends on, because obviously for any of this kind of stuff, as far as dating, there can be people spend thousands of dollars on some of these. It's ridiculous. In order to be able to, to date, and you shouldn't have it,
Go to church, go to the grocery store. There you go.
I'm gonna throw it out there. I've been single now for the last
18 years.
Did you want to admit that?
Well, yeah.
Okay.
And the thing of it is
He's available.
is I've been on dating sites. I have met so many women, and of course I stay within my age
Just
range.
carry
Rick.
cash. Have no expectations, just carry cash.
That's right, Kevin Martin.
I have met so many women that are so damn full of themselves. They think they are something else, and they're old women.
Jerry, you're losing possible dates.
Well, no.
Yeah, you're shooting yourself in the foot, so
I'm
to speak,
talking about
or something
people,
else, Jerry.
I'm talking about people that I have met, and I'm not talking about
I don't think
everybody.
it's just women.
Dating sites suck.
I think
They
that
just totally suck.
men or women have expectations of the person they want to, date, or they want to spend the rest of their life with, or whatever. Not everybody dates just to get married. That's the other thing. People date just for companionship, or they date. Everybody has their own reason.
If I would have had that idea in my head, I would never probably married my second wife and my current wife, Rachel, because just.
Well, she's just outside in the car, Charlie.
Yeah,
if she's watching the show, she can come in and bump you upside your head.
I didn't have any expectations. So that meant I wasn't going to get let down as much. When you have expectations, really, you're just setting the bar up for somebody to fail.
Well, I think you still have to have standards. Not everybody's standards are the same.
Right? Yeah, but expectations and standards are a little different.
I have to say, out of mine,
Men too, not just
I
women.
agree, JJ, and that's what I'm trying to. These guys, obviously, you're listening to three men, but men are just as bad as women in that reason. But all the more reason why
JJ,
Let's Get Personal is going to be
Wednesdays.
perfect. Let's Get Personal is because we're going to have discussions, and we're going to have what we call Down the Rabbit Hole, which you can imagine where that's going to go, and we're also going to have a website where people can meet. And a lot of it's going to be, when I say discreet, I'm not trying to sound, but it'll, for instance, you'll be able to have a telephone number that you can first talk to people and sort of get a feel for what they're like, and not have to actually reveal your identity. I think that it's a way to ease into it, because a lot of women and men, but women particularly, they have to be careful as far as who they might be. We're also not, all disclaimers aside, we're not going to screen anyone, do any background checks, or it's.
But you will sign a letter saying that you're not going to hold
sure.
Rick
Yeah,
Phillips or
there
his
will be
group responsible.
yeah,
for
there'll be
anything.
disclaimers on all parts of the show.
JJ, I agree that men are the same way. I can only talk from my experience as a male, and I can guarantee you that men do the same thing and they're the same way. And
She does need to come in, she said.
Come
Okay,
in
JJ.
Wednesdays.
All right, so you need
Now, next Wednesday, we do have the mayor Sabine on, but you can still come too.
yeah.
Because we have 4 seats up here, so that's fine.
But all the more reason as what we're seeing right here on these screens, just how difficult it is for people that are not dating or married or already committed to someone, how difficult
Ron and I
it is.
just went out for a good time, both coming out of bad divorces. That was and you didn't have any expectations.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to say about with Rachel. I didn't have any expectations.
Joe Davis is watching. So, Joe, you decided you weren't going to get your exercise this morning and come in?
Joe Davis, you were supposed to call Clinton Becker.
Yes, for
Call
a car.
Clinton
For a
Becker.
good time. For a good time.
He is not in El Salvador. We have proved that.
Yes.
All right, well, let's get to some birthdays.
All right.
Nice but scary group.
It is a scary group. But at least we don't leave our crap in Cincinnati.
Yeah, we already turned you in on that, Joe.
JJ will be here with Fiber and Fluffer. I don't know if we need fluffed or not, JJ, but that's all right.
Wait a minute. This might be more than we bite off.
And Vicky, right, just a night out, no expectations.
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
And that's fine if you know what you're going into it that way.
Well, the two things you said, expectations and standards, are two different things, in my opinion. All right, here we go. Kate Blanchett, actress. She's in The Lord of the Rings.
Socially awkward
Indiana
people.
Jones.
Michelle, I can't imagine
Ocean's
you're socially
8.
awkward.
So Kate Blanchett, how old is Kate Blanchett today? Audience, you're not on too far of a delay, so throw us your guesses.
I'd say 60.
In the ballpark, but lower.
56.
Ding, 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 ding.
Where you go,
56.
Jared?
All right. Boom, 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 boom.
Something to Star Wars.
Boom. George Lucas, the creator.
Oh.
Hey, Sean.
His birthday. But you
Is
also...
Sean coming in next week?
Sean.
Sean Poole.
He said something about coming in Friday.
Friday next week?
This Friday, I think.
Oh. Well, let's get this straight.
Is it this Friday or next Friday? We can take either Friday. My son, let's see, what's this?
Is this the one you're trying to get out of the house, Michelle?
Oh, okay. All right. All right, here we go. George Lucas. How old is George Lucas? He also wrote and created American Graffiti.
So?
No, I just think it's interesting. Star Wars, American Graffiti.
78.
George Lucas,
Higher.
81. Michelle says 81.
81.
JJ Marie says 81.
is-
Vicky Kendall says 81.
You know what?
What are you all cheating?
Yes,
Yeah.
81 is correct. Joe Davis, 34. Okay, Joe.
Joe
All right.
Davis, that's a little high for the girl last night that was helping you with the refereeing.
Joe Davis, you're going to be close on this next one. Miranda Cosgrove. She was the iCarly girl. She was in School of Rock.
Sean
How
was
about
saying, how about
Monday?
Monday?
How about Monday? Next month? Fine, come in. We got another guest coming in, but he's a regular, so he'll share some time
Who's the
with you.
regular?
Chris and Tay.
Oh, Kristen Tay, okay.
All right, so here you go. Miranda Cosgrove, iCarly. Younger, obviously.
Younger?
We used to watch. I used to watch a lot of iCarly with my daughter.
What the hell's iCarly?
It was a Disney show.
Who watches Disney?
30.
30 is low.
Michelle saw it on the news. What did she see on the news?
I don't know.
Miranda, 33.
No, 32. Vicky Kendall's got it. 32. is what I
JJ
got.
Marie says 32.
All right, Mark Zuckerberg,
We know him.
Facebook, the Meta guy. He's not very old either.
28.
Oh, he's older than that.
I don't know.
34.
Older than that.
He said he wasn't that old.
Well, he's not. It's
40.
still. It's just a little bit low.
41.
41. Zuck is 41 today. Rob Gronkowski.
Football.
Football player. Tom Brady's go-to guy. Rob Gronkowski. He's not very old either.
36.
Ding, 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 ding. 36. Good job.
Sean wants to make sure he doesn't have a show that night. Well, we know your wife works you to death, Sean.
She does.
This is a break you're going to get coming on our show.
David Byrne. Bring your wife with you. I haven't seen her in a long time.
That's right.
David Byrne.
Angels always welcome.
David Byrne.
Who's that?
He is the lead singer, creator, and founder of the Talking Heads.
Still doesn't give me a clue.
Rock
What's
band.
the song?
Rock band.
Song.
So he's been.
Our house in the middle of our
So he's been around a while.
Yeah.
72.
72 is just a little bit low.
73.
73. There
Thank
you
you.
go. I like it when people know how to play the game. All right. Clay Matthews. Well, how many people do we say? I give them
I
that
know.
hand and they go the wrong way.
Well, not
Clay
everybody's
Matthews.
as astute as the
Old
people that have been
Cleveland
here
Brown.
forever. What is this, episode number 210 or 11?
11, I think. Clay Matthews. How old is Clay Matthews?
Football? Is that the Clay Matthews
Yes.
we're talking about?
Yes.
Was he a Cleveland Brown at one
Yes.
time? Okay. Sucks to be Cleveland Brown.
Mark's 41.
Clay Matthews is probably 40.
Oh, it says, Jerry, look. Look.
What, 39?
39. 39.
That means you were just a little high.
I know. Michelle says 58.
Yeah, 39.
You were kind of close, Michelle.
Okay. I just happened to look this up on a different site.
Baseball?
Caught this guy's birthday today. Tony Perez.
The big dog.
Yeah, doggy.
Doggy.
Excuse me. Sorry. He's getting up there.
Oh, yeah.
71.
Higher.
84.
Just a little bit high.
83.
83. There you go. All right. Good job. That's all I got today.
We take directions well, Jerry.
I don't even have any in memories today. But
No one's dead?
I don't have the, I knew it was just going to be us, so I did a family feud. That way you guys can work together. So family feud, here we go. We asked 100 married men.
This is going to be like your the first few editions of your game show, Joe. Top 8.
Yeah.
Are there 8?
7.
There's, well, that's not the top 8.
Name something your wife is holding, and you guys should have plenty of experience in this.
Yeah.
When she says, Guido, you got some explaining to do.
Me.
Meat.
No, me. Not meat. Well, it could be the same, but me.
What? No, what?
Something she's holding.
Holding what she's going, you got some explaining to do.
Is that even real?
Oh. Oh.
Top 7 answers on the board.
Anything you get their hands on, but I
You got some explaining to do.
Should we go out and bring Rachel in?
She,
She'll probably give us all 7, 8
no,
answers.
she won't get
Bing,
it.
boom, 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 boom.
Wow. Okay, a rolling pin.
A what?
A rolling pin.
No, no. That's
No, wait
good.
a minute. Are we
Oh,
missing?
Michelle Tebow got the first one.
Are we missing credit card statement?
Yeah, bank statement, credit
Jeffrey
card
Schuster
statement.
phone.
Phone is number 3.
JJ Marie Fluffer. Boy, you can't get off that, can you, JJ?
Receipt is also on there. It's number 6. So we have bank statement, cell phone,
Ticket.
receipt, bill.
Like in
No,
speeding
no
ticket, I
ticket,
guess.
but that's a good guess.
Huh? Let's see.
You got some explaining to do.
Someone under the covers.
A condom.
No.
Yeah, you never can
Who
tell.
wears a condom?
She's
This,
yelling at
this
you.
would be the wife saying this to
right.
the husband
That's what I
Right.
said.
about explaining stuff.
Yeah.
So they're spot on all those answers.
Yeah.
I'm drawing
Underwear,
a blank.
underwear out of a car.
Yeah, underwear
Underwear,
would be good.
panties. Yes,
Yeah.
that's number 2.
Well, it'd have to be well, it wouldn't have to be panties.
Well, that's what they had on their list. So you got 1, 2, 3, and 6. We're still missing 4, 5, and 7.
Handcuffs.
4, huh?
Handcuffs?
Handcuffs? No.
Some sort of jewelry.
No.
Handcuffs.
4 is kind of the typical thing you think about when you hear this situation. I'm surprised number 4 wasn't number 1.
He must have more experience.
The old
at this than
lipstick
we
on
do.
the
Lipstick on the
lipstick.
shirt, yes.
Yeah,
Lipstick
okay.
on the shirt. 4.
There, Jeff said
Jeff
lipstick.
got it. New equipment in the barn. Look at, he's a farmer.
New equipment in the barn?
I don't think you're going to be holding that up.
What
though.
about flowers?
That'd be like the receipt. No?
You know, new power tool.
New power.
Like a Black & Decker sander, Michelle?
I think she's talking about
Let's take a little
the
off
other
the
power
edge.
to
Let's take a little off the edge there. It's a little rough.
Well, another one's kind of obvious too. You got some explaining to do.
He keeps saying that, but I don't get it.
Well, they're holding something up because they caught something that you had. No, it's not crabs or anything like that.
Fly swatter? I don't know.
No. You got bank statement, panties, cell phone, lipstick on the shirt, receipt or a bill. But 2 more.
I still don't know about the barn equipment or the power tool.
Well, that would be like the receipt. Power equipment, that could go a couple different ways.
A phone number.
Ah, there you go. No tickets, no
Like in
tickets.
your pocket, you mean like?
Yeah, phone number, chick's phone number. All right, there's one more. We talk about a certain one of these every Thursday for sure.
You mean when the goofballs from Fayette County come in?
Yeah. Well, and one knew what it
Hell,
was.
they holding up a pickle?
Lexi Dunford says a brawl.
A brawl?
Yeah.
Well, that would be
Like panties?
with the panties. Yes,
Okay.
that was in there, but there's still one more. Ricky always said it to Lucy. You got some explaining to do. That's
I
what
thought she was ragging on me again.
Perfume. Yep.
Yeah.
But that's not it. One last one.
I'm not very
We always
experienced
talk
with all
about
this.
it on Thursdays. You're the mastermind behind it.
Mastermind?
Yeah, you're the one that brought it up originally, and Uncle Punky's the only one.
okay.
Green door.
Well, the green door is part of it.
Can't be holding it up.
Well, what is the green door?
Porn.
Yeah, what you have is porno or sex video.
Oh, is that it?
Yeah, sex video or porno.
Okay.
There we go.
Yeah, but sex video could be husband and wife.
Yeah.
I mean, you know.
Behind the green door, Michelle, that's Rick used to, that was in his last career. He's a star in that. Get her in it sometime.
Oh,
That's why Uncle Punky, hey, if we get 4,000 views on
he
our
sure
show,
got embarrassed about that, didn't he?
Oh, God.
It's like,
And all you got to do is say green door to him, and he's immediately the color of my shirt. He is funny about that.
he acts like he starred in it or something.
So we've had some good discussion on the scarioke. You know what might be, it'd be fun, especially if you guys participated at home. What was your very first date? What did you do for your very first date? And do you remember it? I mean, what was your very
I know I didn't
first
drive.
date? Right, I didn't either. My mom would take
My
me.
parents
Yep, same here.
had to drive.
Yeah. What was your very first date?
But I was a freshman in high school, and
I worked at Jack's Video. I know about it.
the girl that I went out with, her mother was a teacher at Beaver Creek, and that was the only girl that I ever dated from the same high school that I went to. Because I quickly learned after that if you don't want everybody knowing your business, you date girls from other schools.
Yep.
So, and that's when I found out the fun and the joy of Catholic girls.
Oh. So
My
what you
first
haven't
date was
answered
a
yet though.
Catholic
What
girl.
was your very first date?
Huh?
What was your very first date?
I went to a movie.
You went to, what movie was it? Do you remember?
I think it was the one because I got sick. It was the one where they cut the horse head off. What was that? That was a hell of a movie to
Godfather?
go on the first. Yeah, I think it was a Godfather movie.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Cruise the Kroger parking lot with others. That was JJ's. Joe Davis, you went to a movie and bowling.
Well, we knew Joe would go
Joe,
bowling.
what movie did you go see? This kind of dates us a little. It's fun.
Who would go to a Godfather
My-
movie for your?
No, what were you thinking? Well, she might get scared and grab on.
My first
that could be.
first date was
We used to cruise the Frisch's and Parkmore and all those all
we
the
went
time.
to different schools, but we went to school together in grade school. But when we were in high school,
Roller Haven.
and
Too damn long.
We know those people.
went out and she drove because
Who
she
drove
was
the girl?
hmm because she was older than me. Her birthday was before mine in years. She got her license. She had her license. I didn't have my license yet, so she drove.
Ah, Rachel is watching.
Yep.
I went out to eat and watched The Crow.
Well, mine. What? Say yours again. What was yours again?
What?
Your first date.
We
Somebody from a different school, but you went to elementary school
Yeah.
together. So what was your first date?
we went to Dog and Suds in Hillsborough.
Dog and Suds. That was a hot dog place?
We went out. Yeah, we went out and we had hot dogs
they have
and
footlongs?
root beer. Yeah, they did.
Okay.
And
Did you get a foot long?
no,
Charlie.
Did she get a foot long?
not from me.
They talk about me. I try to keep it on the down and low.
But yeah.
And
Yeah, right.
you guys are trying to keep
Right.
it up and high. I don't know what Joe Davis means.
Oh, I asked Joe. What
Joe
was
don't
it-
know what this is.
Joe,
I
you
know. I
understand-
asked Joe what movie he went to.
Oh, you don't
And
remember?
He can't remember.
Well, he's old.
He's. We got too damn long on here. We also got too damn old Joe Davis on here.
I remember the first movie I ever went to with a girl,
Okay, what
and it
was
was
that?
my first wife. And I can't remember what movie we went to, but
You
I know.
just said I can remember.
I know we went to the movies in Hillsborough.
Actually,
But the good part of that night was
Hi, Charlie.
we wound up in the police station.
that's what a fluffer does.
We wound
You
up.
wound up in the police
Yep.
station.
Yep.
Why?
Because
How old were you?
man,
So she was contributing to the delinquency of a minor?
no,
You said she was older.
no. This is a different one.
Jerry,
was
you got as many dates
This
as
was
you...
my first wife. When we the first date we went on.
Your first wife?
First date we went on.
Oh.
Yeah. I bought a car, and they hadn't never sent me the title yet, so I couldn't get the tags.
Joe just says
And it was after
X.
midnight.
Yeah, right, Joe.
It was after midnight, and a friggin' cop pulls me over because it's like 12:30, and my tag expired.
Oh, that was a
It
that was a
expired
good
at
move.
midnight.
That was
Expired
good.
at midnight.
I thought they give you like a week to get that
Well,
done.
No, they don't.
Let
When
me tell
you're-
you, the
when it
judge
expires, it
ripped
expires.
that cop a new one, buddy, that time.
Really?
Oh yeah.
So you didn't have to pay a
So,
fine
so
or anything?
I pay
has
court
anyone in our audience ever, like, you know, the old making out in the cars or, you know, the parking lots? Or I can remember this, and I take this back because I said I only dated one girl from Beaver Creek. It wasn't true. The second girl, there was a second girl that I dated from Beaver Creek, but she she moved to Kettering. So I dated her after she was no longer going to Beaver Creek. She was going to, I don't know, Fairmont West or whatever. But anyway, I could remember the windows being steamed up in that, you know, parking around the stadium there in Kettering. It's the stadium that the Fairmont teams play.
Skyhawks.
Yeah, and also, well, Skyhawks is Fairborn.
Oh, okay.
But Fairmont, they're the, I don't know. But anyway, also
War Eagles?
Alter plays at that stadium as well. It's a Kettering football stadium. Kettering built it. But would used to park up and down those streets. You'd have to move every so often, you know, because the police would come cruising by. You'd move the car so you were at a different location or whatever. But never did see the football games. We could listen to them on the radio, but so we kept the score. You got to keep the score because you got to go back when the parents are asking questions.
My first date was This has got to be. I had to only be like. It had to be like 1980. 19,
That's your first date?
1980. Yeah. Well, I was only 16 at the time, like your first date. 15. It's probably 1979.
Yeah.
Because we went and saw. I'll tell you what. Somebody could look us up. Me and I took this girl out, and what's funny is the girl I took out, I eventually set her up with her husband. And so that's kind of weird. My first day, we went to go see Coal Miner's Daughter.
My first date was to the movies. Can't remember the movie, but my dad made me take my little brother with me. That's a smart move from your
That's
dad.
funny.
Well, no, I know. The one girl that I dated, she was Catholic. She went to Belmont High School in Dayton, though. She didn't go to a Catholic school. Belmont. In fact, I don't even think the school's there anymore. Belmont Bison. But anyway, it was a Dayton public school that she went to. But she was Catholic, and I can recall her mom, whenever we wanted to go to a movie, she would get out. The Catholics have a newsletter or whatever that rates all the movies that are out, and will recommend movies for your kids,
Right.
Based, on being a Catholic, I guess. So we could only go to movies that were in and approved by the Catholic Church.
Oh.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my God! Well,
I never had a date.
even going to prom,
Bull
I think
crap,
we had to be
Schultzler.
back at midnight on prom.
I call BS for Schusler. He said he never had
Yeah,
a date.
Jeffrey,
I ain't buying it
he
either.
didn't date. He passed go immediately and got married. Didn't
My
he, Jeff?
second date, I was kissing my. Now this is Joe Davis. I was kissing my date in the back seat as my cousin.
Who was driving?
I just wanted to pause there so people thought he was kissing his
He
cousin.
wasn't kissing his cousin.
Who was driving with his date in the front seat, and a state highway patrol pulled us over because the taillight was out.
Well, I'm going to tell you something that beats any of this stuff that I did when I was dating. I was dating a girl, and her parents did not want me to date her.
Oh.
And I had a friend, and he was dating a girl, and her parents did not want him dating her. So what do you think we did?
You gave
Switched.
I went and picked up his date, and he went and picked up my date. The parents liked us. They loved us, I guess. So then we would meet after we picked each date up, and we'd trade, and then we would go on our dates, and we'd meet back at the time that we had to meet back, and then we'd take our dates home.
That's messed up.
Oh, that's not half the thing. The one girl that I dated, this was the girl in Kettering. She lived in a ranch, but her bedroom was with the back of the house. And it just so happened that there was no screen in the window. And I would sneak in her back window of the house. I'm telling stories now. I would sneak, and one time her dad came back and knocked on her door, and I was obviously in the room.
Oh, man.
And I hid behind the door when the door was open, and her dad was on the other side of the door, and I was sweating bullets, of course.
Well,
But
heck yeah.
That was as close as I ever got to losing whatever. And
You might have lost a lot.
I just don't I was a pretty brave young man at the time.
Was
when
it
I was young.
brave or stupid?
Maybe both. A little of both.
That's a different type of swapping.
Oh.
Yeah, that is. Yeah, that swapping at least is a little cleaner.
We were, I was on a date with a gal one night, and we decided we would park for a while, and we went back to this one area there, and we were parked.
You're gonna have a hard time
And the next thing
showing
I
this
know,
up.
there's somebody tapping on the window, and it was my uncle, because he was coon hunting.
I went coon hunting before.
And
My
what
uncle
was-
used to train coon
And
dogs.
what was even worse was my uncle was married to her sister.
Oh.
So it's like, here we go.
Well, Trevor Shoemaker is in the house now.
All right.
The long lost
of Main
Trevor
Street,
Shoemaker.
Wilmington. Yeah, we haven't seen him for a few weeks. He's been a busy man. From what I understand, he's trying to get prepared for a wine walk that we're going to have here in Wilmington. So we're going to take a break, and when we come back, Trevor can tell us all about how to prepare for the wine walk in Wilmington, Ohio, because we know there's a lot of winos out there that are just waiting with bated breath to find out how they can walk the streets of Wilmington drinking wine
Without falling over.
At one point, it becomes the wine wobble.
No wine wobble, exactly.
Right.
We will be back in just a minute.
Are animals using your house as their new home? Spring is around the corner, and so is birthing season for wildlife. Give us a call today if you are hearing noises in your attic or under your house. Here at Diamondback Wildlife Extraction, we can take care of your wildlife removal needs and repairs. Nuisance wildlife can be very destructive to your house, such as chewing on or through electrical wiring and much more. Call us today to book an appointment for inspection at 937-302-6372. We strike back.
Indulge in a variety of mouth-watering dishes, from juicy burgers and fresh salads to stacked sandwiches, delicious pizzas, warm soups, crispy fries, and finger-licking wings. Every bite is crafted with care using hand-grinded and breaded ingredients made right here in-house. Whether you're dining solo or with family or hanging out with friends, we have something to satisfy every craving. That's the Rusty Keg in Washington Courthouse, the best fries in town.
Roller Haven is located at 1640 U.S. Highway 22 Northwest, Washington Courthouse, Ohio, the perfect place for a day out with the family, birthday parties, and even an organization event or fundraiser. Check out our website, rollerhavenwch.com, or give us a call at 740-335-6481, and we can help plan your event. We look forward to seeing you there.
City officials forcing a local beloved mascot to step down.
Why poor timing and inappropriate behavior doomed a pantless Wilson the Weasel following his drunken performance at the late Judge Garrett's funeral.
There was nothing routine about this routine.
A story we are dedicated to getting to the bottom of.
I'm Amanda Martin.
And I'm Steve Burnett. These made-up stories and the latest real news from the Murphy Theater are what you've come to expect from us
on the Murphy Report, with a new report posted every Monday morning on our Murphy Theater website and our Murphy Theater YouTube channel.
Full minute-to-minute coverage all 21 hours a day.
With veteran news anchors Vanessa Del Rey and Breck Stone.
Amanda, I have to say Vanessa and Breck are just about the two finest anchors in the business.
For once, you're absolutely right, Steve.
I think the Titanic could have learned a thing or two from these two giants in their field.
What am I missing here?
Anchors.
The Murphy Report.
Remember, if it's news to you,
it's news to us.
All right, we're back. We got Trevor Shoemaker on here from Main Street, Wilmington. And Trevor's got a whole list of stuff. So Trevor,
Wrote it down so he wouldn't forget it.
why don't you just take it away?
All right, we'll get started.
For sure.
Okay, we'll get started quickly. So the first thing we'll talk about is the month of June. We have a lot of activity going on in downtown Wilmington. So I have to put my glasses on so I can get the exact dates right. So on June 6th, 13th, and 27th, the Convention and Visitors Bureau Summer Concert Series will be held on Sugar Tree Street. So each one of those Friday nights, there's going to be music, a live band, and a big party down there at Sugar Tree Street. So put that on your calendar, the 6th, 13th, and 27th of June. And then on Saturday, June 14th, is the Main Street Wilmington Annual Wine Walk. And that we've been doing that, oh my goodness, I think at least 10 years. I forgot to look and see exactly how many years we've been doing it. But we've had a lot of success with that in the past. Looks like it's going to be a fun time this year. Tickets are still available. You can still go to online go to our website at www.mainstreetwilmington.com and find the link to buy tickets for the wine walk, and we can have a party. So they were talking about prior to the break about getting prepared for that. I don't know what you really do to get prepared for drinking wine samples, but
I can't drink it. Wine does this to my throat.
wow.
Yeah, I'm allergic to it.
Most people just get dizzy, and then you.
I get sick. And I found that out, went down to a wine tasting thing at Valley Vineyards.
Wow.
What was the date of that wine walk?
The 14th.
14th.
June 14th. June 14th. And tickets are still available. So I want to go over, I got a list of things here that I wanted to talk about. Some really good things have been happening since the beginning of the year, and I want to go over quite a few of these. First, I'll start out with, we brought in an arborist last fall to give a report on all the trees downtown and to determine how they were, what needs to be done to them, so on and so on. And so what we ended up doing for right now, the city hired the arborist to come in and trim the trees. So now they're up at least 6 feet high, or a little bit more, so that you can walk underneath them without, bumping into a branch. They stay off of the cars and etc. And so they've done a nice job of really trimming up the trees and making the sidewalks more comfortable to walk on and so forth. So we did that, and then the next thing is that I got an email in early February, and it was from our Christmas decoration company, and they had this sale going on for just a very short period of time. So we got lucky, and we got some help in getting some more decorations for the downtown for Christmas time. And the Eagles Lodge stepped up, and they gave us some money and help out with these decorations. And then R&L Carriers also stepped up and said they would pick them up from the company and drop them off here in Wilmington for us. And we're very, very grateful to both of those entities for helping out with these decorations. And we put a picture on a few of them that's on our Facebook page when they arrived. So, did you have a question?
Has that sale already ended?
What?
Has that sale already ended with that company?
Yes. Okay. Yes. It was only on for a short period of time, but it was a great deal. So I think they were trying to get rid of last year's inventory or something, but it matched what we bought previously. So we just added more to what we've got.
Are these the ones that are going to be zigzagging across Main Street now from some brilliant pushing of some guy that wanted to see the whole street decorated?
You're getting close.
Do I need to mention any names?
No.
Greg Phillips.
Let's leave names out of it for the moment.
My underground parking garage.
Well, we're working on that.
Okay, good.
Yeah, we're working on those plans.
I know you are working on a parking area.
Yeah, we've had discussions, so we'll work on that underground parking garage.
Okay.
So the decorations that we bought, there'll just be more decorations on the light poles. So, last year we had candy canes and angels and different things like that. And so we've got more of those, so make it a fuller look when you're looking down the street. So
Looked good last year.
Yeah.
well, it'll look even better this year. So.
Good.
Then the next thing we've been working on in conjunction with Swindler and Sons Florist is getting a new design for the flowers downtown this year. So where we had...
Like the pocket parks?
No. You're asking a lot of questions here.
I'm inquiring minds want to know. I'm inquiring.
Did he do like this before I got here?
Oh,
yeah.
it's worse.
Yeah, worse.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, he kept things fluffed up all morning. Yeah.
So,
Nice one.
anyway, where was I? Oh, flowers. We were talking about flowers. So the mayor's office asked us to come up with a little bit new design of plans for this year. So what we're doing, which will be, I think they'll be starting to go up on this Friday. And we will be still having some hanging baskets, but we're going to have a lot of potted flowers on the ground at the intersections. So we're going to concentrate the look of the flowers at each of the major intersections downtown. So be on the lookout for that. We're going to have more banners hanging downtown here this summer, and we're still working on exactly what banners we're going to put up, but we'll have more banners on the streets as well. And I want to go back to also to the flowers. I can't thank enough Kristen Ondelik, the new owner of Swindlers, and she is the granddaughter of, for the old timers out there, remember Bob and Dick Swindler? Well, she's the granddaughter of Bob Swindler, and she and her sister, Caitlin, purchased Swindlers from the family, and they are taking on the new task of making Swindlers even bigger and better than it was before. They put up a new greenhouse. They've all got all kinds of big plans that they're working on. So I'm really excited, and I was especially excited that she got in contact with us and said that she'd like to team up with Main Street to help the downtown look better. So with her guidance about flowers and me working on getting some pots and different things donated, why we have got a really big, I think a big nice flowers display for this coming summer downtown.
And just to avoid anybody complaining later, who is responsible for the flowers once they're in?
Swindlers will be this year.
Okay, because we did that one time in Sabina, and we got complaints even though we tried to do something like it, because the business owners thought they were going to have to be responsible, but it's not. It's Swindlers are responsible.
Dr. Jeffrey Schusler asks, any Hanukkah decorations?
Not on our schedule yet.
Not on the schedule.
But you know.
That's coming with the underground parking garage.
Exit.
I'm sure for some donations, Jeff, that could happen.
Yeah, Jeff, you're made of money.
Yeah, there you go. So.
We'll even give you a little corner you can put all your decorations on. Give them a pole. One pole that Jeff can have.
We could probably arrange that.
Jeff's pole, so to speak.
So we've been also very fortunate. We have, Main Street Wilmington has corporate partners and they step up and help us in many different ways. And one of our big corporate sponsors is TimberTech, and they have been helping us for the last couple of years with various and sundry things downtown, including being the presenting sponsor for our Holodazzle Parade there. So they really make that happen and happen in a big way. And each year that the parade gets a little bit bigger, a little bit better. And we really appreciate TimberTech's involvement in this. And also they are gave us some money to help out with the new flowers for this year. So anybody sees somebody from TimberTech, we'll thank them for their support for the downtown, because they've really been a big asset in what Main Street Wilmington is doing to make the downtown better. So then I want to also talk about some things that's going on construction-wise down here. Everybody's probably noticed over on the South Street block there, the block of the People's Bank and the City Building, they've been putting in some new curbs, new sidewalks, correcting a few issues over there. And so when that's finished, which should be any day, I would assume, that it will be really nice improvement on that block, which will help a lot. And it'll be some extra parking spaces added back in there, so that'll be really good. Yeah. So we really appreciate the.
Not underground.
No.
No.
Street level.
Street level. Everything's street level there.
That way we don't have to buy elevators. They're very expensive.
Oh my goodness. So, also, there are some things that are coming this summer, but I can't tell you what they are.
Yeah, well, you tell me.
Maybe.
We'll talk later.
Bribery gets you a lot of places, Rick.
I might buy your coffee.
There you go. Then see, I don't drink coffee. You have to do something else.
So you drink something.
He can fluff you.
something stronger.
I'm missing something here, and I don't want to know.
You don't want to know.
I don't want to know.
No, Charlie's being his obnoxious self.
Oh, I'm just so obnoxious.
Well, it's good that I wasn't here when all that took place. Yeah. So we truly do have some other things planning for the summer that will be. Let's put it this: some of them will be put up. That's a hint, Rick. They'll put up.
Okay. All right.
And we've got some things going on in that nature that will improve the looks of the downtown, certain areas of the downtown. I'll be more specific, certain areas, as opposed to just.
People in office that are leaving, or what?
No, I don't know anything about anything.
No. I thought maybe you knew something.
No, not a thing. But I said that we have gotten more donations to help with
From Timber Tech.
from somebody else.
Oh, someone else.
Yeah, which I'll keep you with great anticipation till.
Aren't we a big corporate sponsor?
Gonna leave you with bated breath.
Yeah, you are, by the way.
Big corporate sponsor. Big.
So, in all seriousness, just for 5 seconds, we will have some other some cool things happening a little bit later on soon, maybe within the next 30 days. So, but we're looking for any kind of involvement, though. Speaking of involvement, we'd love to have volunteers. We need volunteers to help out with various assembly things. Well, I have one very specific job.
If you give him a title, he's got to have a title.
He's got to have a title to do.
He's got to have a title.
Wow.
As long as it's not Chief Fluffer.
Have we run that into the ground yet?
Charlie's
Rick started it. I didn't even know anything about it till today.
I've not even said anything about that.
Ding, 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 ding.
Charlie's.
Bullshit meter going on.
Charlie's.
So, what kind of volunteers you looking for the
There
day?
you go.
Well, thank you for bringing that back up because we were kind of off on a side street there.
Yep.
So in all seriousness, I need a volunteer to help with finishing out our downtown database of information. So this is information about businesses and various other things, and we've got a database started, but we need somebody to help complete it because with the other things that we're working on, we just don't, me and Stephanie, my assistant.
Was Stephanie doing that?
I started doing it, then she started working on it, but then we got sidetracked with these other good things that's been happening, and we just would like to have somebody finish it out.
Is it true that you're still trying to untangle all the lights from Christmas?
Yeah.
In your office?
Yeah.
Put new batteries in them and all that?
Yeah.
I saw that. It was a big project.
Yeah. Yeah. Somebody
We won't mention any names. Stephanie.
mention any names, but somebody took the lights down and kind of left them in a state of entanglement.
I hate that when that happens.
So what I need is I'd like to have a volunteer who would this won't take too long to finish this, but it would involve, if you know Excel spreadsheet program on the computer, that would be very helpful. The second part is you will be walking around and talking to different business owners and property owners and things like that, gathering our final bits and pieces of information we need to have a complete database of our
What kind of information do you gather?
Well, besides the basic things of the address and make sure the address is right and the phone numbers and things like that, we're trying to find out what each building, how many rooms it has, what kind of square
That
footage
might be available.
that potentially then could be available.
Businesses.
Yep. So we need those types of information to complete our database, and we're working with another entity that's going to help us with some things about hopefully attracting new business. So, but to do that, we need a complete database of what we have in our district, so that we can know what we're talking about. And then sometimes when we get phone calls in, it's nice to be able to say, well, we know a building and it's got this many square feet and so on. So things like that. So we just need a person that would be willing to do that. So if you're interested, please email us at our email info@mainstreetwilmington.com, and I'll call you back and talk to you give you more details about what it is. Won't take that long to complete, but we're just looking for somebody who would be willing to do that. And we kind of waited till the bad weather got out of our way so that it would be easier to walk around the downtown. So,
Trevor, geographically, what is the Main Street district?
That's a great question, Rick. Thank you for asking that.
Always try to help.
So our district, from the east side, it is like on Sugar Tree Street. It's where the Sugar Tree Mill is, which is Grant Street. Right. There, then you go across Main Street, which would be at Buckley Brothers, and you continue up the alley there over to Locust Street. So that's our east boundary. Our west boundary ends at Swindlers. So from Swindlers, then in back towards the downtown, that involves. From the north side, the Galvin Park, which is beside the library, that's our north boundary. Right. And on the south, it ends about just a little bit past Sugar Tree Street. It takes you up to Trail House and Wheelies. So they're in our district. So that is our basic boundaries. And it's not a perfect square by any means, but it goes with the different areas. But that's our boundaries that we work with.
Well, appreciate you coming in.
Well, I'm glad to come in and to give you a quick update about what we're doing, but we can always, there's other things that we do out throughout the summer that we can always use other volunteers, so don't hesitate if you want to do something. And I also want to say, in our Main Street Pocket Park just down the street from us, Jane Johns and her staff have been working hard to finish up the flowers in there.
Yes.
She's doing a great job. I think she's going to be power washing the walls in there today and the concrete that's surrounding there, and then it'll be just about complete. And so we're very grateful to her.
I notice a lot of businesses are like the carry out there on the corner of what are the streets there?
Sugar Tree and Walnut. Yep, Circle Carry Out.
A lot of new construction going on or improvements to existing construction to make things look a lot tidier.
There is, and that gets to be very contagious. I mean, when one business does something, and then another will do something, and another will do something, and pretty soon you have a lot of people, a lot of businesses that have decided it's time to make an improvement, do something to spruce things up, and it helps them out a lot, but it also helps out our downtown. Makes it more pleasant and a nice place to come and visit. So,
thanks for coming in.
Yeah.
Yep.
Jerry, you got some this day in history?
It's
10 o'clock.
10 o'clock.
I know, but it'll only
I'm
take
good.
a minute.
Oh, no.
Oh no, he's got a whole page.
Well, let's do it real quick.
No, I'm good.
It won't happen. You have a final thought, Charlie?
Sorry about that.
I'm good.
All right, yeah, I got a final thought. You can't do it unless you imagine it. George Lucas, it's his birthday today.
There you go.
And of course, with George Lucas, we can't let this one go by. May the Force be with you.
Yeah. Have one birthday that we missed out on.
Oh, that's right. Go ahead.
Jake's watching, and happy
Yep.
birthday, Jake.
Yep, Jake Lindsay. Sorry about this day in history. Maybe we'll do it tomorrow.
Well, it'd be a different day.
Yeah, you won't be here.
you could do it a day late.
We could,
This
yeah,
day
we
in
could do it
history,
a day late.
This
yeah.
day in history yesterday.
A day
I don't
late.
think anybody would
Day
care.
late and a dollar short, right?
I don't think anybody cared.
All right. Well,